Chris, how's it going with your world-famous raffle? Because it's the biggest one on the islands, isn't it?
I think it is. We've got 70 prizes, all donated very kindly by everybody, and it's a good chance. We've been doing it now for 10 years, Jackie and I together. We've got it quite well organised. We were ready before time this time, for the first time.
Is it harder and harder getting prizes? And there's a credit crunch on, don't you know?
Yes, don't you know, and yet we get accosted by, you haven't asked us for a prize. Well, we didn't like to. Oh, of course I'll give you a prize, and they get quite offended if they're not asked. So everybody's very, very generous, and it's thanks to them.
How long ago did you have to start planning for this then?
More or less as one finished, I think. You know, we sort of start thinking, well, what did we do right, what do we not do right, and then we're gradually getting offers throughout the year. People giving things.
Have you got a target for the amount of money you want to raise?
I don't think we've reached more than 800, have we, Jackie? Have we reached more than 800? I don't think we have, so it'd be nice to get up there if we can. Obviously, it'd be lovely to get 1,000, but I think that's high hopes.
And remind us where the money's going.
To our new hall, which we are hoping we'll start to get as soon as the tenders are sorted out, etc. Get building and let's have it and have somewhere for the youngsters to play badminton, to play table tennis. At the same time as a quiet room for a meeting, or the doctor's surgery, or keep fit, which I don't do, but there we are. I keep fit by walking and gardening. And
You've raised a huge amount, but there's still an awful long way to go. Is it daunting at this stage?
It is, but it's funny, but now that we've got the planning permission, it's spurred us forward because there are so many things that we can apply for which need planning permission first, but now we've got the planning permission, we can now move forward and raise money. A lot of people have said, well, when are you going to have it built? It's dragged on a bit, but now, great.
So it makes it real then?
Yes, yeah, it's actually going to happen.
So I'm with Richard Morton, and tell me about your group that's been performing today, Richard.
Yes, well, we started it inspired by a visit to a folk festival last autumn, and thought it would be something we'd like to do as a family, and we spent all our pocket money on hundreds of miles of ribbon, as you can see, and we learnt a couple of dances. Basically, we're trying to restart the tradition of the St Martin's Goose or Guise dances, which did perform in living memory back at the time of the Second World War. There's at least 4 inhabitants over 70 who can remember going goose dancing. Unfortunately, it lost a lot of its zest because all I can remember is playing an old melodeon, which was a bit out of tune, and shuffling about on the doorstep. But the main idea is that you go along and sing, dance and entertain with mummers' plays at the houses of people who've got enough wherewithal to invite you in for drinks afterwards. Basically, it's a form of begging.
And it could be quite an expensive affair for people, couldn't it?
Well, in the case of our family, yes. They all drink shorts.
Now, you were appealing for people to get involved to carry on and extend the tradition. Any responses?
Well, we had quite a number of people interested, several on St Mary's, but of course the problem is the boats and getting up and back. We're hoping to involve those interested next winter because, of course, everyone has a proviso in the summer that once the summer season's over, well, then we'll have time to do it. But at the moment, we're having to put it all on ice, and we've only learnt 2 dances ourselves. We had ideas of a lot of repertoire of a lot more, but we haven't managed to do it. But we shall be catching up in the winter.
But it must be a nice thing for a lot of visitors, because this is a distinctly St Martin's thing. You go to a lot of fetes on the mainland, and it's the same old stuff all the time. This is something that you'd only get here, isn't it?
Well, I think so, yes. I mean, you do get Cotswold Morris men up in the Cotswolds and the Border Morris, which is this sort of dress, a bit more garish. But here on St Martin's, there is a tradition, and it is something special to this island. If you look up the historical records, goose dancing was only ever mentioned by Borlase as taking place on St Martin's, and that was sometime in the 18th century. So, and the the boys dressed up as girls and the girls dressed up as boys, and the whole idea was that you weren't recognised, so you could let your hair down.
So it's something you've got to keep as a tradition, haven't you?
I think so. I think I'll take this opportunity to say, is there anyone else who'd like to join in with us? And we're after the young people, mainly because the old ones are too decrepit, they can't do the dancing. Well, I can't.
And you're taking the show on the road as well in the autumn?
Yes, we're hoping to go up to the Banbury Folk Festival, which takes place, I think it's the 9th of October. And they're all dedicated to go along and do their bit.
And do you think there'll be more people from, well, the folk fraternity coming to the islands after they see you?
Not that good. Yeah. Well, you know, they started this year at Easter to try and get a St Mary's Folk Festival going. You probably remember they had several events, and I think it can only do good. There is a bit of a problem in that the time people want it is midsummer like this, and the time the guest houses and the commercial part of the islands wants it is out of season, so that they get out of season visitors. But somehow I hope a compromise emerges.
And how long is it going to take you to take your makeup off? Are you going to find orange on your pillow for the next 6 months?
No, I'm assured. Well, no, my wife said it gets trodden into the bedroom carpet, but I'm assured it washes off.
We'll start from here.
Water.
The first one to get to the red line is the winner. Flow! Flow! A couple of amorous friends following.
Come on, Mom!
Who else have we got?
Yes,
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Sue there. We got Joe. Looks like Joe's going to win. We've got a very fast finish up at the other end there. Joe's and Joe's a winner. Yay!
Keith Bradford, Snail Master. How's it going?
Snail Wrangler, I prefer the term, or Snail Marshal. Going extremely well. We've been fully committed on all the races that we've had so far. The fastest time we've had is 2 minutes and 55 seconds for the 13-inch sprint. The world record is 2 minutes and 39 seconds. So we're very close to the world record, and we're really looking forward to beating it in the final at 3:30.
Have you had any cheating going on?
We haven't actually had any cheating that I've managed to discern, but I think there was some doping going on earlier. I'm fairly sure that somebody breathed Red Bull on one of the snails. It was going like a train, so I'm sure something went on there, but I couldn't prove it.
And you can't supply your own lettuce, can you?
You cannot supply your own lettuce, because otherwise it might be doped as well. We have our own dope-free lettuce, which we supply to all the people here, and it has made a difference, because the people who are able to get the snail closest to the snail's mouth are the ones who have been winning.
A lot of money being raised, I hope.
I hope so, yeah. It's an absolutely fantastic turnout. I'm not sure that I've seen so many people at the fete for years and years and years. Many thanks to all the trailing and everything else. It's been very well done, I think.
Now you have planning permission, do you think that will actually boost your fundraising? Because it's real, isn't it?
It is real, and I definitely think that the project will move ahead much faster than perhaps it has done in the past. An awful lot of people have put enormous amount of work into actually getting the project up and running, but it does to me seem more real now. We've got 150,000 in the thing. We're looking at potentially having another 100,000 from another source, which hopefully will be confirmed shortly. We are moving, we are getting there, it will be built.
So that means you need about 50 grand if that other source comes good.
We will need another 50 grand, but we've got this big chunk of money. It's easier to raise more money if you've got a big chunk of money than trying to raise a big chunk of money if you've only got a small chunk of money.
And how much do you hope to raise today? Do you know? Have you got a target figure?
I'd like to beat last year's figure, which was £4,000. That would be really nice. Sorry, my pager's going off. £4,000 is what we took last year. I'd really love to be able to beat that. An enormous number of people have put in an enormous amount of effort in order to put all of this on. The committee, all the helpers, the volunteers, and of course thanks to all the visitors who've turned up and supported us.